And this is the butterfly, part 2. I was waiting, just sitting and waiting. That so-called Job Centre Plus place was next to useless. Oh, and right next door was a McDonald's, so my figure was fast joining the lost causes in my life. I was still waiting for my name to be called, feeling hopeless and more than that, useless. I fought a sudden surge of tears, trying to breathe evenly. There it was again. Goodness, that pink and purple butterfly again, dancing in front of me, encouraging me almost. I smiled, remembering the first time I'd seen it. I was just about to give up on life at that time. At last my name was called. "We have a vacancy you might be interested in," said my advisor, a little too sweetly. That butterfly had stayed on my shoulder the whole time. I nearly called a loud whoop when a few days later I received a phone call telling me I had an interview. Why did that butterfly always show up when I needed it? I had to ask myself. Who knew? Except there is much power in a butterfly. In a way, we are all like butterflies. Delicate on the outside, worries and stresses may sap our strength at times, but with a strength inside that comes from believing in ourselves. Now onwards and upwards, I was beginning to spread my own wings. And I'll just find part 3 for you. Here we are. What to do next? I had been jobless, dateless, and just about friendless for a long while. My only friend seemed to be a little butterfly, a very special butterfly that visited me whenever I was in need. I had cheered up considerably lately. I had sent off numerous resumes, got proactive and telephoned various companies, asking if they had any upcoming vacancies. However, I was still without work. I was sat on a sunny afternoon in June, finishing off another batch of resumes and chewing on my well-worn pencil thoughtfully. I looked up at the clock on the living room wall. It said the time was 3 p.m. on the nose. That was when the pink and purple beautiful butterfly flitted in through the open window and began a little dance around the lampshade. I smiled, stared at it for a while. That was when an idea hit me. Get in there, I smiled to myself, turning things over in my mind. A few weeks later, I was busy baking, making my own special butterfly decorations out of cardboard and pink and purple paints I had bought from a craft shop. What had I decided on? I had decided that if I couldn't get a job yet, I would try my hand at raising a bit for charity. The more I thought about it, the busier I became with plans. Make some cakes to sell, have a clear out and sell anything I didn't need anymore. Then I had possibly the most interesting idea of my whole life. A borrowing stall. That's right, people would bring various items and for £1 people could swap and borrow. It seemed barking mad as I put the finishing touches to the cakes, decorations and put the coffee on for guests. I wasn't really expecting very much. There was the butterfly flitting round again. It decided to land on the cream sponge I had made. I stared at it, hardly daring to breathe. A few moments later, the doorbell went. The gaggle of voices that greeted me overwhelmed me. Several people, each clutching tins with cake inside, biscuits or items for the borrowing store. I shook hands and greeted my guests in shock. My morning was such a success. I raised lots of money, well, 100 quid to be exact, for the charity I had picked out. I was feeling fulfilled at last. Thanks for a great time. We should take turns at hosting events. You're welcome over any time, said one lady, a single mum who was working hard to earn a living and raise her children. Blimey, I was actually making friends? What on earth was going on? You're more than welcome, hun, I told the young mum. If you ever need help with the children, you can always call on me. I glowed as plans were brought to reality. I can do it. I can really do it.